We're back with Judge Joe Brown. The defendant in this case says the plaintiff failed to clean her property. She contends her partial payment was plenty. Let's take a look.
Now, see, your whole defense is off scale because guess what? I'm going to hold it and find that that is subject to ordinary wear and tear that's cumulative over the period of 8 years with no restorative maintenance or work on it. So that's your obligation, not your tenants in the first place. So that the plaintiff in this matter did not restore property through renovation, which she was not hired to do, is not anything that's going to knock down her compensation. Well, about this letter, this communication you wrote, it's very well drafted, so I mean, there's no problem with assuming something in here about what you're trying to mean. You obviously are an educated woman, so I mean, it's professionally, adequately, competently, and excellently written. That's the problem. Since it's like that, it's clear as to what it's conveying.
Judge Joe Brown,
yes, ma'am.
May I say something? Okay. When I tell my tenant that I would do as a favor for her, there's a draft, there's a contract, she called it, that they both know. Even Kelly knows very well. The plaintiff knows very well. If she didn't do a good cleaning job,
excuse me, stop.
Then,
I'll read a sample of your language.
Oh.
I understand your desire to help Ms. Floyd, but your claims have no merit because Mrs. Floyd lied to you, period. You must be subject to what I can only assume is your lack of awareness of the individual's aggressive and deceiving nature. And given the above, comma, I suggest that you have a talk with Ms. Floyd and reconsider the need for legal action, period. It's pretty strong.
Because that's the fact.
That's not the point. Ma'am, get your own lawyer so you will not run afoul of the California Landlord-Tenant Act. This is not illustrative of furnishments, improvements, fixtures, or ordinary devices that need cleaning. What I've seen are indicative of an accumulation of 8 years' worth of wear and tear that drastically need to be painted, renovated, and repaired. So before you rent this again, I suggest you make sure those renovations are taken care of because considering what's around and about in the neighborhood, 8 years lack of maintenance, repair, or restorative effort is a dereliction of your responsibility as a landlady, landlord, or the concern or entity that's involved in renting this residential property.
Actually, I have been doing all that repairs.
Excuse me, you're in violation of the law based on what I've seen if you try to rent this without repairing and restoring the wear and tear. So you want to argue with me continuously. Why are you doing that?
What I was just trying to point out is
No, you don't need to try and point out. You have an excellent command of English. Therefore, you should be able to comprehend what I'm telling you.
Judge Joe Brown makes his ruling after this.
Ma'am, you need to be in compliance with the Landlord-Tenant Act, and you're not, and you need to pay this woman the $913.40 she's owed, and since you made such an abruptly bad time of it for her, I'm going to tack on another $500. I'm not going to give her the full claim for defamation of character, but you are an educated person, and you need to bring this rental property up to condition.
Okay.
There you go.
And this courtroom is now in recess.
Well, just looking at the pictures, it looks like an awful lot of work for just one person, and some of the defendant's expectations were simply not reasonable. Her letter also was pretty harsh. The judge says the plaintiff deserves her full payment plus a little extra for her pain and suffering. We'll be right back. We're back. The defendants insisted they kept up with the renovations on that rental property in question, but the judge says the pictures show a place that needs some work beyond a cleaner's capability. She will pay for the plaintiff's services. Check Question of the Week results at judgejoebrown.com.